Depression. What is depression? Depression is when you live in the past, but not always in a good way, but in a bad way. Trying to change the past when you can't change it. You can't change the past. You can only reflect on the past. But I'm sure you've done something in the past you regret. And today, I'm going to show you how to let that go, because that's the most important thing. You can't change it. The past is already in the history books, bro. You can't change the past. You can't. No matter how hard you try, you can get 10 people, you can get the whole world against the universe to try and change the past. And guess what? It's not going to work. So stop trying to change the past and instead focus on the present moment. Now, how do you focus on the present moment? First of all, it comes down to realizing that you cannot change the past. You cannot change it. No matter how many times I'm going to say it, you cannot change the past. If you're depressed, let's say you're depressed because you're not fitting in at school. You don't have any friends. It's no one's fault but your own. But you might be saying, but Jack, their opinion is not my fault. It's not your fault, no. But the way you perceive it is your fault. If you're depressed because other people don't like you, because other people say you're a nerd, because other people just look down on you and you don't fit in at school, maybe you just hang out by yourself, that is your problem. No one else's. And guess what? Hanging by yourself, being a lone wolf, nothing wrong with that. But you might be depressed because you got shit grades at school. But bro, again, you can't change that. Let's say you're out of high school and you got shit grades. You can't change that, bro. You can't change it. So, in this video, I'm going to tell you what you can do to pretty much cure your depression. Because most likely, you just think you're depressed. Or maybe someone's told you you're depressed and you just believe that. But 99% of people watching this video are not depressed. Or 99% of people who think they're depressed watching this video are not depressed. You just think you're depressed, but you're really not. Really, you're not. So, first step is to curing depression is all about realizing that what you did in the past has happened. The second step is looking into the future and saying, okay, what can I do right now to improve my life? What can I do right now? And you may lie to yourself. You may say, okay, step away from outside my comfort zone. Let's just stay in the comfort zone. Let's just sleep in. Let's just play video games so no one judges me. But no, that's not how you're going to improve your life. The only way you're going to improve your life is if you step out into the real world and you do the things you're scared of. That's it. If you're depressed because you give that much shit about other people's opinions, go out there and start a conversation with a stranger. It might be scary as fuck, but after that, after you finish that conversation, you feel so good about yourself. And even if you don't, you did it anyway. Whatever you're depressed about, go right now, go tomorrow, if it's at night time, and do the thing you're scared of. Again, if you're depressed because you got bad grades at school in the past, do something about that. Whatever you're depressed about. And you know if you actually are depressed, because most likely you're not even depressed. You just think you are because someone's told you that you're depressed. Whatever you're depressed about, whatever you're scared of, just go do it. That's the only way you're going to cure your depression, is if you get over that hump. You can't expect to beat your enemy by fleeing backwards. You have to go at it and fight it. Again, you're probably not even depressed, bro. You're probably not. You probably think you're depressed because you care so much about their opinion. That's not depression. Depression is when you sit in the bed or whatever, well, not necessarily, but you look back in the past and it overtakes your mind. It impacts your life so much that the past is where you live. And the best way to overcome that is to step outside your comfort zone, whatever you're scared of, and just do it. Self-improvement and personal development is hard. It's hard. That first step is so hard. But bro, just think of the outcome. Just think of the outcome. If you're scared because you're fat, maybe you're really skinny, maybe you just don't like the way you look, go and change it. If you're overweight, fix your diet. Do some cardio. If you're skinny, eat up, work out. If you're depressed because you want something more in your life, go and get it. I'm not being mean here, I'm not being offensive. I'm saying what you need to say, not what you want to say. I could say, okay, you're depressed, that's okay. Just go, lie down in the bed, just relax, just step away from your depression, just step away from it, everything will be okay. But no, if you want to live like that the rest of your life, go ahead. But if you are depressed for a reason, find that reason and step towards that reason. Again, if you're really nervous, do whatever you're nervous about, nervous. Do it nervous, bro. If you're that depressed about, let's say, a speech at school, if you did really bad in that speech, you think hiding away from speeches your whole life is your best bet and being depressed over that? No. You get so good at them, your depression just flies away. The only way to eliminate depression is to face it. Not retreat back from it, but face it. A lot of people will tell you to not do the thing you're depressed about or anxious about. But just go and fucking do it. Yeah? But again, let's get to part 2 of this video. If you're depressed about something you can't control, let's say it's maybe a family member, let's say it's where you live and you just don't live in a good environment, that's a different situation. That is a different situation. If you're depressed about something that you can control, go and change it. But if you are depressed about something that you can't control, or not, because this is the worst one. This is the hardest one. Because you can't do anything to change it. It's all about realizing that you can't change it. Maybe your grandparent died, maybe even your parents died. Let's just say for worst case scenario. You really just have to believe and really take it in that you can't change that. And I know, it might be really sad. Because I've never experienced it. Only certain people have. Something like that, it's a tragedy. Or a tragedy. But, if it's where you live, if it's something to do with family, maybe friends, maybe your friend left you, maybe your ex left you, and you're depressed about that, it really all comes down to realizing that you cannot control it. Especially if someone's passed away, you cannot control that. You can't control it, it's happened. Yeah? One quote I really like is that sometimes the chapter ends in the book, bro, but you just can't put the book down. You have to keep reading. You have to keep following along with it. You might get to chapter 3 in your life. Might get to chapter 7 in your life. There might be 21 chapters. Let's say each year is a chapter. Let's say you live to 80. There's 80 chapters in your book. If you get to chapter 21 and maybe your parents pass away, for example, whatever it is, maybe your best friend leaves you, maybe your ex leaves you, maybe your girlfriend leaves you, whatever. You have to keep going. You have to. You have to keep going. You can't put the book down. You can't leave to smoke and drink to hide your problems. You can't do that. If it's something you cannot control, you must realize that you cannot control it. Really think to yourself, can I control this situation? And most likely, if it's something like this, you cannot control it. And again, it might be where you live. And to be honest, that's just very unlucky, because I live in probably the best country in the world, and I am so blessed to be living here right now. I am so blessed. But, going back to part 1, if you are depressed, if you live in a great country like America, I'm not saying America's great, I'm not saying any country's really great, but let's say Australia, like where I live, it's great here. and you have good friends. Yeah, you have a good family to support you, but you're still depressed because you're, let's say, overweight, skinny, you care so much about what they think. That's on you. You created your problem. Let's say you created your problem by eating too much or eating too little, not by medical conditions. Because again, sometimes you can't control that. Again, that's on you. That's all on you. If someone left, if your ex left you, that's on you. You can't get depressed over that. You must move forward again with the book. You cannot just end the book. You can, but how boring would that be? You would always want to figure out what would happen if you kept going with your dreams. Maybe before you were depressed, you wanted to be a professional basketball player, but you just gave up because too many hard things came your way. But summary, part 1, things you can control, change them. Do not step away, face the depression. Yeah, if you're overweight, eat less, eat good food, and move your body. Yeah, do what you need to do to change. Part 2, if you cannot control it, it might be, again, the environment you live in. It all comes down to realizing that you can't control that. You can't control it, and just do your best you can. Just do the best you can. And always, everyone on this earth should always remember that it was one in 400 trillion chance that you were born. So just always, wherever you live, you might live in the poorest country in the world, you might live in the richest family in the world. Always remember that you are so lucky to be born right now. Everything is going to be okay. Again, if you can control it, go and change it right now, unless you're not going to change. If you can't control it, realize that you can't control it, and you just do the best you can. Do things that make you happy. Just live life to the fullest, whatever that means to you. But with that being said, if you want to work with me, maybe your depression and this video just wasn't for you. Maybe it just doesn't work for you. Maybe it just didn't give you any value. If you do have depression or anything like that, if you think you have depression or anything you want to work with me with, please go book a one-on-one call with me, a free one-on-one call with me below. If you apply and if you qualify, I'll hop on a free one-on-one call with you. But again, I only work with the people who are serious about working with me. So if you're not serious, don't work with me. But if you are, I'll guarantee you that I'll change your life. That's a guarantee, because again, I've been what you've been through. I've been through depression and anxiety. I have. So I'm here for you. I am. So again, go book that free one-on-one call below if you are interested. But again, with that being said, guys, if you can control it, change it. If you can't, realize that you can't control it and just do the best you can. And always remember that book analogy, if that's how you say it. But again, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Again, if you need a change, change. Peace.